Hello, my name is Potato Chief, and I got something I want to get off my chest. I love this system. This is the Wii U. Now, it doesn't get as much love as the Nintendo Switch, it doesn't get as much love as the Wii, but I feel the Wii U was a solid system. It didn't sell very much, but it had some great games on it, and now that the Wii U is officially dead, and there's no more games coming for the Wii U, I think it is now time for me to rank the 5 best games on the Wii U. So here they are, my top 5 Wii U games of all time.
Number 5.
Okay, number 5 is a bit of a unique one because it's the only one on this list that is not made by Nintendo. It was funded by Nintendo. It was a franchise that people thought was dead. People didn't want to give a chance to. Other companies didn't want to buy the franchise, but it had a massive, rabid fan base. And this game is Bayonetta 2. Bayonetta 2 is considered one of the best third-person hack-and-slash games of all time, with great controls, a great protagonist. People consider her a bit sexist, but honestly, she's empowering women. She's a strong female character. Granted, she uses her sexuality quite a lot. That is part of her character, and it is a great game, a great hack-and-slash game, and it is worth playing, and it is worth buying. I would say it's even worth buying a Wii U just to play that one game.
Number 4.
Gotta get my list out. Future me, cut this out.
Number 4.
Number 4 is Mario Kart 8. Now, it would be higher on this list. It might even be number 1 if they didn't just release the deluxe version on the Switch. Because the Switch version is the definitive version of Mario Kart 8. It has all the tracks and the modes. But it is a fantastic game, and it was the first game I bought on the Wii U. It was the game I got bundled with my system. And it was a brilliant game, and it still is a brilliant game, hence why people are still playing it on the Switch. And I still play it on the Switch, and the game is fantastic. It is beautiful. 1080p, 60 frames a second. It is one of the most beautiful games ever made. And it's on a Nintendo console, which people always call underpowered, but it's beautiful. It's HD, and it is a very beautiful game, and it is worth playing. And if you do not own a Switch, it is still worth buying the original Mario Kart 8, because that game is incredible.
Number 3.
Number 3 on this list is a Mario game. Shocker. I know, it's shocking. This is the only Mario platformer on this list, though. And it is Super Mario Maker. The game that has made me rage more than any other game ever. It's part Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World, and New Super Mario Bros. It's essentially 4 games in one. You have unlimited amount of 2D platforming goodness. People make levels. You have the 100 Mario challenge, where you have 100 lives to complete the whole level. The challenge in that in itself is insane. It is the definitive version of Super Mario Maker, because the 3DS version is a bit garbage. I have the 3DS version, and it's not as good. The Wii U version, you get to find levels that you like, you get to rate levels, you get to create levels, and it is a fantastic game, and it is worth buying a Wii U just for that. And my Wii U is still plugged in because of Mario Maker. And because of what's number 1. But because of Mario Maker and what's number 1, my Wii U is still being played to this day, even though I have a Nintendo Switch.
Number 2.
Number 2 on this list is a tricky one. Because number 2 on this list is one of the greatest games of all time. It's phenomenal. It is a masterpiece. However, it is much better on the Nintendo Switch, and it's much more popular on the Nintendo Switch. But I feel that it's an injustice not to mention it as the second best Wii U game, because it is technically on Wii U, and that is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is one of the greatest games ever made, in my personal opinion, and probably the best Zelda game ever made. Taking everything that was great about the Zelda series from 25 years of lineage, and then adding to it, and then taking some of the best parts of the Dark Souls series, which was inspired by Zelda in the first place, and taking some of the inspiration from other open world games like Skyrim and The Witcher, and it's just a phenomenal game. I was considering not putting it on this list because it is essentially a Switch game. And the reason people bought a Switch is for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The reason I bought a Switch is because of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. But, as it is the exact same game, just 720p, it is worth buying on the Wii U if you have a Wii U and you can't afford a Switch. It is a phenomenal game, and it is one of the greatest games ever made, and that's why it is on this list. But it is also the reason why it's not number one, is because it is better on the Switch.
Honorable mentions.
Okay, so I have a couple of honorable mentions. Splatoon 1, great game. I never really got to play it much. That's why it's not on this list, because I've played it for about an hour total, if that. And it might have made it on the list otherwise. So that's why. Pokken Fighter, it's a good fighting game. Coming to Switch. Again, the definitive version is coming to Switch. And I don't think it's as good as what's at number one. So if we're going off fighters, it's not up there. Monster Hunter 3 was a fantastic game. A proper Monster Hunter game on console, and I am looking forward to Monster Hunter Double Cross, even though they're saying it's not coming to the UK at the moment, and I'm hoping that that is not the case, otherwise I might have to import it from Japan. Biggest honorable mention is Super Mario 3D World, because that game is fantastic. It is a fantastic 3D Mario game, but the reason it's not on the list is because it's not, I wouldn't even say it's the top 5 3D Mario games of all time. I would say 64, both the Galaxy games are better than it, and then it's debatable about Sunshine and other stuff like that. So, personally, I don't think it's right to put it on this list, because it's not as good as other 3D Mario games. But it's still a phenomenal game, and worth playing.
Number 1.
And number 1 on this list. Okay, so number 1 on this list is personally one of my favourite games ever made. One of my personal favourite games ever made. The reason I have spent hundreds and hundreds of pounds on Amiibos. The game I've spent hours practicing on to enter in tournaments. The game I've spent hours collecting trophies and characters and stages, and the game that had the best hype train ever, in my personal opinion, before it came out. Months of waiting for new trailers to come out, and then when a new trailer comes out, everyone going nuts and watching the trailers back. Of course, number 1 is Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U. And you can't say I'm wrong. You can say I'm wrong, but I personally think it is the greatest, one of the best fighting games ever made, and it is definitely the best game on the Wii U. And it is, apart from Mario Maker, the only reason my Wii U is still plugged in. I still got it plugged in, it still has the GameCube adapter, and I still play Smash every now and again. And I still enter tournaments to play Smash. I suck, I come like last place, but I still enter tournaments for it. The game is phenomenal. I use Zero Suit Samus, Kirby, Luigi, and Captain Falcon, so that's 4 characters, which is a bit of an overkill, but you should really make more. Anyway, rambling here. The game is phenomenal. The amount of content you get with it is ridiculous. The new characters added so much, and then the trailers were ridiculous, about hype for just trailers. It is one of the greatest games ever made, in my personal opinion, and if it doesn't come to Switch, it is a travesty, because this game deserves to be played by more people. There's a reason to own a Wii U. If you love Smash Brothers and you've never played Smash on Wii U, then there's something wrong with you. I'm sorry. You need to buy a Wii U just for that game. And if you buy a Wii U just for that game, and then it gets announced for Switch, then I'm sorry. But it is worth, at this moment in time, it is worth buying a Wii U solely for that one game. And then you buy Mario Maker as well. And Bayonetta 2. and 3D World. Because it's such a great system, and I think it is underappreciated, and I think in a couple of years' time it will be looked back fondly on like the Dreamcast was. There's so many great games, and people have missed out on them. I hope for Nintendo's sake, a lot of them get ported to the Switch, because a lot of people have missed out on some great games, and I think you do yourself an injustice by not playing these games. And if you've never had a Wii U, never owned a Wii U, I would get one quickly before they run out and buy Smash Brothers and Mario Maker and Bayonetta 2. Thank you guys for watching this top 5 video. What would you like me to do next? Top 5 Zelda games? Top 5 3D Mario games? Top 5 Xbox 360 games? Top 5 anything? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. But thank you guys for watching. I'm glad you stuck around till the end of the video, and thank you for watching so much. It's really appreciated. And until next time, later.